Welcome to another episode on our channel. So if you don't see this rotating base at the very beginning of an episode with a figure on it, then you're probably seeing an older episode that we filmed when we had time to do so. I wanted to spruce things up, so not only show you and talk about the figure that we're showing you, so you can get a little feel for the person who's representing that figure. I wanted to make it a little more interesting and spicy and engaging. So we went to a new format where this goes down, the figure goes on it, spins, I talk about it, and then we go to a turn tray and I show you more elements on the outfit and that sort of thing. So just to spice things up a bit. I hope you find that interesting. But today we're going to do something even more interesting and engaging and fun. And I call it the market analysis. It's basically to try to keep people abreast of whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market, that sort of thing. And I wanted to share with you some more data collection pieces of information. We started this in January, and we did a couple of them in January, one in February. I drew some data at the end of February, and unfortunately, what I typically do is type in 1/6 scale, hit return, get 240 items, and then I choose sort items ending soonest. But unfortunately, when I got about halfway through this list, I got that early sign of death on my computer and I had to reboot. And since I don't write everything down, I just keep the tab open and collect the data as things are being sold. All that was wiped away. So I was only able to get about 120 items in terms of data collection points for the end of February. But it's still all good. It's still interesting information, but it's a smaller sample size than I wanted. So normally it's 240 items because that's how many can be listed on a page, the highest number that can be listed on a page. It'd be nice if it's 250, but it's 240. This one is based on an N of 120. So bear with me on that one, 120 items. Out of the 120 items, 18 of the items were complete hot toy figures with their art boxes. So 18 out of 120 were complete hot toys figures. And I don't pay attention to the other brands because I think Hot Toys is going to give us a measure or an idea as to whether the market is soft or whether it's a seller's market or a buyer's market, because that's kind of the coup de grace, top of the line figure Hot Toys. So that's the one I track. And again, out of 120 items, I was able to track 18 of those items, Hot Toys figures complete with art boxes. Out of the 18 figures listed, let me back up, 10 out of 18 items had a gross loss of $150 or more. And when I say gross loss, what I'm comparing is Sideshow list price to eBay sell price, gross loss. I'm not factoring in taxes, shipping and handling. I'm not factoring in eBay sell fees. So it's just gross loss. So 10 out of 18 items lost $150 or more. If you did figure in Sideshow taxes and shipping and handling, eBay sell prices, you could probably add $30, $40 more to that loss price. Maybe less, depending on how much it sold for, right? And how much it costs to buy from Sideshow. So So anyway, 10 out of the 18 items lost $150 or more. And it ranged from a low of $150.51 loss, net, not net, but gross loss, $150.51 to a high of $237.50. Right. And in this list of items that lost between those two ranges, or that one range, is Mysterio, Taskmaster, Asaka Tanu, Batman Arkham Origins XE, Jango Fett, Vision, Amazing Spider-Man, the comic version, Iron Man Mark 50, Tony Stark Team Suit, and Captain Marvel. All right. So 10 out of the 18 items lost $150 or more. Out of the 18 items, 5, let me back up, I'm sorry again. 3 out of the 18 items lost between $100 all the way up to less than $150. Right, so between $100 and less than $150, 3 of them lost that much money. And those 3 were Vision, the white version, at $145.01. That was the gross loss. Vision, Stormtrooper Death Star, that was a gross loss of $111.50. And Deadpool Special Edition lost $114. Out of the 18 items, 5 items lost less than $100. But mind you, every single one is a loss. So less than $100 was Prison Break Lincoln Burroughs. And that was the one that produced the least, the lesser of the losses. Let's just put it that way. It lost $44.99. And I'm assuming because it's such a rare item. I've never seen it come up before. This is the first time I've seen it come up. And so it didn't lose as much as other items that keep coming up again and again and again, is my theory anyway. Under $100 loss was also Black Widow in the white outfit, Snow Snoot. That was a $77.50 loss. Beetlejuice lost $94.50. And Doctor Strange lost $83.50. So basically, out of the 18 items, everyone took a loss. When you look at Sideshow list price and eBay sell price, gross loss, everyone took a loss. And these losses are lower than what they really ended up, according to shipping and handling and taxes and eBay sell fees. They're lower when you factor those things in, but I did not factor those in. All right. So that was a very, it was a smaller sample than what I normally want to do. It was about 120 in that sample. So early March, I did another one, and this was the right size, the normal size, 240 items. So I put in 1/6 scale, hit return, items, sort by items ending soonest, hit return, got 240 items ending soonest. And out of this list of 240 items, 29 of the items were Hot Toys figures complete with their art boxes. 29. Out of the 29 items, 20 did not sell. So out of 29 Hot Toys figures complete with boxes, 20 out of the 29 did not sell. It's not good. But that's typically what I'm starting to notice, is that if you start at like a couple $100 or more, it probably won't sell. You have to start less and hope that a bidding war ensues that will hopefully bring that eventual sell price. It will crest it up. It won't come to covering what you originally paid for it, but hopefully it'll be at a sell price that you can live with. At least it will sell if you start low and there's a bidding war. If you start low and there's no bidding war, I would delete that listing, to be honest, before it's too late to delete it. I think it's like a 24-hour period or something like that. Or anyway, but delete it if no bidding war takes place. So out of the 29, 20 did not sell. Out of the 9 that sold, 3 of them had losses of $150 or more. Gross loss, right? First one was Mysterio. It lost $155.50. Second one was Thanos. And I have to say, ouch here, because it lost $223.50. Whoever bought it for $152.50. But the sell price on Sideshow was $376. So the person gross lost $223.50. That is really painful if you were the seller of that one. The other loss of $150 or more was Batman 1989. They sold it for $198.50, but the original cost was $350. So their gross loss was $151.50. So ouch, 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 right? When we look at between $100 and less than $150 loss, we have Spider-Man Homecoming that lost $137.99. We have Iron Man 3 that lost $137.49. And we have Endgame Thor that lost $139.99. When we're looking at losing less than $100, it's like 3, 3, and 3. 3 were in the $150 loss range or more. 3 were in the $100 to less than $150 range, and 3 were less than $100. So Batman Returns sold at $202.50, which isn't bad when you compare it to the list price on a Sideshow is $285. So the person lost $82.50 gross loss. The next one is Dark Knight Batman. They sold it for $175.99, but they bought it for $260. So the net loss, or the gross loss, I should say, is $84.01. And the last one, this was interesting. This one broke even, but I mean, yeah, in terms of numbers, it broke even, but the reality is it lost money. So this is a 0 loss compared to the Sideshow list price and the eBay sell price. But when you factor in shipping and handling and taxes and eBay list fees, it's probably going to be a $30, $40 loss. But technically, just looking at gross, it broke even. And again, it's an older figure, and the first time I've ever seen it come up when I've done searches, it's Predator's Royce, the Royce figure. So it doesn't come up often. That's why I think it at least broke even technically, even though it probably reflects a loss. maybe not a significant loss, but maybe $30 to $40 is an exaggeration. Maybe a $15 to $30 loss would be my guess. But it broke even technically. And again, because I think it's more of a rare figure that you don't often see come up. So what am I saying? Really? I guess what I'm saying, it's the buyer's market. If you have money to spend and a figure comes up that you like, chances are, if you have the money to spend, you can get it and you will get a deal. It's not a seller's market, obviously. And it hasn't been since I've begun collecting the data. So if you're not pinching the pennies, that's another thing. Things aren't selling the economy is struggling. People are pinching their pennies. It's hard times right now. And sometimes there's oversaturation in the market with too many figures out there. And things aren't as rare, and so you see tons of these figures selling, and sometimes people get desperate and they'll keep lowering the price until, it gets into the range where you could afford getting it, but if you start at 200 or more, probably won't sell. You have to count on some sort of bidding war to sell it at a decent price. That's what I'm discovering right now. So right now, not a seller's market, but it is a buyer's market. If you have the money, now's the time to buy and be selective. And you know what? Shoot them an offer. Because I am seeing that people are so desperate to sell these things. I'm not used to doing this, but I'll throw a low bid out there now because they're desperate to sell things. So I may undercut it $50 from their asking price, $75 from their asking price. And you'd be surprised that people are actually literally taking you up on it because this has been relisted again and again and again and again with nobody buying it. So it's a buyer's market right now. So I'll keep you abreast of the market trends as best as I can, and hopefully down the road we can say it's a seller's market, especially if you have figures you no longer want and you want to buy figures you want. So you want to sell some things to buy some things. But right now, all I can say, it's a buyer's market right now. So I hope, usually I say, I hope you've liked what you've seen, but you haven't seen anything, you've just heard things. I hope the information is useful to you and that guides you in your buying and or selling practices. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day. I forgot to say, if you appreciated the information, if it has helped you in some way, please consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, this time, really, have a great day.
Look at me.
Ready?
It's called the spinning pinwheel of death.
Spinning
Pinwheel of death.
wheel of death. No, this is spinning wheel of death.
Yeah, the spinning pinwheel of death.
I call it the spinning wheel of
Well,
death.
you can call it whatever you want, but that's what it's called.
No,
It's like on a PC, you
There's
get blue
hold
screen
it, hold
of
it,
death.
hold it. There's a thing, right? You can be right, or you can be happy.
I always elect for happy.
It's the spinning wheel of death. Shake your head with me. Anyway, okay. Ready?